Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is the Vernia High School Bears Computer Science Team. They were the Class 4A District 28 Computer Science Team champions and had an individual medal at the state meet. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, help me spread this joy and beauty to as many people as possible. The Vernia High School 2026 Computer Science Team, right ahead. My name is Logan Johnson, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is the Vernia High School Bear Computer Science Team. They were the 4A District 28 Computer Science Team champions, and Logan, which we'll meet in a second, medaled at the state meet in computer science. Let's go ahead and introduce these gentlemen. Gentlemen, when I call your name, please state your name, your grade level, and an interest you have outside of UIL. Logan.
Hello, my name is Logan Johnson. I just graduated this past year, and one interest I have outside of UIL is doing music and band.
Ooh, awesome. What do you play in band?
I play flute, but I was a drum major for 3 years.
Oh, wow. Cool. Joshua.
My name's Joshua Villarreal. Outside of UIL, I also like to run and ride my bike, which I am currently training for a 100-mile race for.
Oh, wow. Awesome. All right, so is one of you the leader?
Yeah, I kind of am. I run the team a little bit.
You're the senior. So. You're the outgoing senior. You're the senior. So there you go. All right, so, hey, Logan, can you describe Vernia High School? What kind of academic environment exists there?
Okay, so Vernia is a pretty interesting school. So Vernia as a whole, it's a small town, it's a growing town. We have this joke, kind of like a big part of the community. There's this Facebook group called Moms of Vernia. There's a lot of interesting things that go down, but it's a big part of the community. So that's kind of how small it is. But in terms of like the school itself, it's definitely very sports centered, as a lot of small towns are. And in terms of as far as STEM goes, there's outside of like the core classes, there's not really a big STEM program, and there's not a lot of ways for people to get involved in the STEM program. There's not a lot of awareness for it. So that's something that I myself and a few other people have been trying to combat these past few years, and trying to just get more people aware of what we're doing. Like, for example, our math teams this year, it was definitely a big rebuild year. I don't think we had a general math team. I think we only had one person compete. We had a number sense team, we had a calculator team, and we have a science team that's trying to rebuild right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Joshua, can you describe the community of Vernia? How's the community?
like Logan said, it's a small town, so everyone basically knows everyone. So it's pretty easy for things to start spreading, so, which is important for when we're trying to get people to know our computer science team and stuff. So,
All right, cool. Hey, Logan, so can you describe this team's journey this year?
Oh, okay. So I'll have to say it's more of like a 4 year journey. I wouldn't really say like it was this year. It's been building year to year. But it started with my freshman year, so the 22-23 year. And at that time, like out of all the people we had this year on our team, it was only myself and one other guy named CJ. And we joined kind of like impromptu. It was a weekend before some invitational, and it was just out on a whim, I guess. But at the time, the environment of the team was very different than what it is now. Like when we did computer science UIL, in terms of priority that like everyone had in their lives, it was like third, fourth, if not lower. Like it was just something we did on Wednesday mornings, and you didn't really think about it much afterwards. So like that's kind of like what we expected. We won district because we were the only school in our district at the time. But then, at region, obviously, like it was my first year. I didn't expect to do well, but I had a few goals, just like try to get triple digit on the written and not suck at the programming, but I fumbled on both. So that really that was a big blow for me at the time, freshman year. But it was fuel that I used for sophomore year. So at the beginning of sophomore year, because at the time the material was still not free, I spent like $40 or so buying as much material as possible. I just grinded through all the packets from previous years. And my goal for sophomore year was just do better at region than I did freshman year. Just try to do somewhat decent, right? So as I get through the year, I'm like, okay, it's starting to get better. It's starting to get a little more solid. I get out of district and I realize I had the fourth highest score in the region. So I was like, okay, I think there's a chance to go to state here. And like I would have never expected that like at the start of the school year. So I was just kind of like, like we'll see what happens. And we go to region and I ended up making state that 2024 season. And it was a great time at state. But the one thing I thought in my mind was I have to have a team here. I need it to not just be me, whether I'm in high school or I'm past my high school time. We need a team here at state. So that was my drive for junior year. But it was also a good lesson my sophomore year that the sky's the limit. Like anything is possible, whether you know it or not. So just keep pushing, keep dreaming. So for junior year, at the start of the year, I asked my coach, "Hey, do you think I can start coaching the team?" Like I started basically from ground zero my freshman year, so I can relate to them a little bit. And out of the kindness of his heart, he said yes. So I started coaching the team, and we have these like 2 advisory blocks a week. They're both 30 minutes. So that's what we use for practice time. And at the time, I was like, this will be enough practice time. But once we got into the actual like UIL season, it was definitely not enough practice time to get through all the material and everything we needed to cover for whatever we were doing. So it was a big learning curve. But this was my junior year. The 2025 season was also the year that the test got a lot harder, because the previous year, that's when everyone at state was getting a 240. So we had this huge learning curve to conquer. And we had another school in our district, and we still won district, but region was a big like shock to us, because our goal was to try to place at region, but we fell short. We got fourth. And a big part of that was the written scores, because our written scores were just not consistent from one test to another. So it was definitely like a big thing to learn. And like for me individually, I didn't make state that year. I think I got fifth or so by like 6 points. But it was like I got very demotivated, because the tests were a lot more difficult. And at the time, I was just kind of like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. But we get into senior year, and for some reason decided to keep doing it. And we had Josh join the team at this point. We had a few other people, but it was their drive that really kept me going, because I was like, all right, here's what we're going to do this year. We're not going to back down. We're going to place that region. and we're going to, if we can, we're going to go to state. You know, we're going to do anything we can to make that happen. And these people on this team have been so committed, and like anytime I'm like, we got to do this, or this to like improve and get better, like they've been, you know, openly welcome to any ideas I've had. And they've, you know, they've stuck through it this whole time. Like we had a lot of new changes. I was like, we're going to start practicing 2 days after school a week. You know, we're going to do practice tests over the weekend, you know, stuff like that. And they were all for it, you know, just to try to improve and improve every single week. So that was a big motivator for me. And I got to say, if it wasn't for them, I probably would not have done UIL my senior year. So I got to give it to them. But, you know, we ended up winning invitationals. We won district and we got to region and we placed third at region. Our team placed. So that was a big deal for us. I think it was the first time in almost 20 years we had done so. So we were, I don't know, it was a good year for us. And then I ended up going to state and getting sixth. So just overall, every single year has been a lesson. Like sophomore year, it was about never giving up and like just keep believing in yourself. And that's something I always push for on my team. Like, because I feel like if you know your true potential, the sky's the limit. But a lot of people don't know like their true full potential. So that was a constant lesson that I was trying to teach people. Like, you know, believe in yourself. Like, don't set the bar too low. And then junior year, I learned a lot of things about teaching and lesson planning, but also just a lot of things about the new material and how to overcome challenges as well. And then senior year, that's when we put it all together.
Awesome. Hey, Joshua, can you tell me a little bit about that practice study regiment?
Well, it was a bit hard during advisory because stuff would always be going on, like a send off or just an announcement, and we would just have to sit there and wait for it to end. After school, it was always pretty chill, and we did get quite a bit done. It was pretty fun. And it was nice to do the weekend practice test because then it could let us see and compare on where we are messing up and why we keep doing bad. Which it did help out a lot. So
Awesome. All right. The next question goes to both of you all. I want to know how you entered UIL competition, how you first entered, any key accomplishments, and do some shout outs along the way to key and pivotal people who inspired you, that helped you, and also perhaps some rivals. All right. How did you enter the gig? Key accomplishments and some shout outs. Logan.
All right, so I briefly mentioned it earlier, but I got in my freshman year. It was like the week of an invitational, and my coach, Mr. Kimball, was like, I was in computer science 1 at the time, so I hardly knew any Java, but he was like, hey, I think you'd be good at this. Come out to this competition this weekend, and like they'll have Buc-ee's afterwards. And that's what stuck in my mind. I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna go to Buc-ee's afterwards. It'll be worth it. So I go, and I was just there, but I ended up really enjoying like the competition part of it. And I think I placed like 8th overall, not terrible, but I think I got first in our school. So I was like, maybe there's something there. But we did go to Buc-ee's, and that was still rewarding. But it was just like from that point on, it just kept building. So that invitational was one we went to every single year in my time in high school. And I will say I am happy to say I won it the rest of my time in high school. Didn't win it freshman year, but I won it the other 3 years. And out of the 7 invitationals we went to, I think I won 5 of them. So a decent amount. And it's all thanks to Mr. Kimball. My parents, for sure. My parents have supported me through every step of the way, especially through sophomore year. They were a big help. But I think an underrated shout out is my UIL coordinator, Coach Noah Recker. He's a debate coach, but he's always like noticed like what we've been doing, either in like myself individually or as a team. And he's always just been cheering us on since the very beginning.
Awesome. Great stuff. How about you, Joshua? How'd you get into this? Key accomplishments and shout outs.
well, I've always really been into STEM, and my brother did help with that since he had just graduated college with a CS degree and he was still at home. So he was able to help me learn some stuff. I first started learning Python, but then I learned that comp sci UIL was a thing. So then I started learning Java to get ready for that, which did really help me in the beginning of the year for computer science, allowing me to get a triple digit score pretty quickly for my first time, like my second test. Um, Next year, I'm really just trying to keep our winning streak going and get to state. I want to take out Casimir. I want to be, I want to be him. So hopefully placing at state at some point in my career. I want to keep leading the team like Logan did. He's been a big role model on how to do things for our team. And shout out to Ben and Hunter, who will be helping me next year for the team and getting us as far as we can so we can keep winning.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. All right, the next question is about goals for next year. Logan, you're graduating. Where are you going to be? What's the vision?
So I'm gonna go to UT Austin, so UT 2030, and I'll be studying computer science. So it won't end there, but I think like when I was in high school, I kind of realized like how much like I enjoyed UIL, like not even just academics, but UIL like in general. If there was any UIL activity, I tried to be there, and it was always such a fun time, like meeting people from other schools. Just like the competition part of it as well was always just was it's just a great thing to be a part of in high school. So something I've always thought of was maybe one day working for UIL, whether it's being a state director or like anything of that sort. That's always something that's like struck me as interesting. But I don't know. It just depends on what happens.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Joshua, you're coming back. What's the
Yeah.
vision? What are the goals? How is Lavernia going to stay on the map in computer science? What's happening?
I'm hoping it will. I'm gonna be trying my best to pass on knowledge and to keep our win streak going. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try getting us to state as a team, or at least multiple as individuals, because getting there to state is really pretty inspiring because the people on the state level are truly just different and just can compete better, and it's good to know those people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I'll be paying attention to your scores next year, Joshua. I'll be paying attention. All right. So, next question is what did you enjoy the most about being part of an academic team? Logan, what did you enjoy the most?
I guess just like the camaraderie that we had between each other, like especially this year, I felt like our team was very close. Like there were a lot of times we had to bond. Like there was this one invitational, like we signed ourselves up, and like luckily I was able to drive. Josh drove himself, but the rest of the team we drove over there, and like it was just a great time. Like there were no coaches; it was just us. It wasn't a school sanctioned event. It was literally just us four: Ben, Hunter, Josh, and I, and it was just a great time. And but like the practices as well, and like another thing is the programming part. We've always like cracked jokes while we're programming, just try to have a little bit of fun with it.
Great. Good stuff. Good stuff. Joshua, what's your favorite part about being part of an academic team?
My favorite part was really how everyone really just wanted to try to do their best and actually learn why things the way that they are. And like Logan said, it was pretty fun. The programming section was probably like the most unserious thing that could be. We would just be laughing the whole time and making jokes while Logan was stressing at the computer trying to do a program. So
Awesome. 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 All right. This question's for you, Logan. What advice do you have for any youngster who might come across this interview in the future?
I'd say my biggest advice is just don't count yourself out. Like you're capable of doing great things, and whether that shows up right away or it takes 2, 3 to 4 years for it to happen, just keep sticking with it because you never know where you'll end up at the end of the road. But like I said, you keep sticking with it, you might get there eventually. But even if you don't, it's the journey along the way that is so valuable. There's so many things that you pick up just here and there that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Like for me, there are things like from specific events that I'm gonna remember a lot longer than any of my achievements. And those things are what stick out to me when I think of UIL.
Awesome, awesome. Great advice. Great advice. All right, gentlemen. Vernia High School Computer Science Team 2026 district champions. Logan, you medaled at state. Congratulations. Now, I want you to give me your as we conclude this interview, I want final words and parting thoughts. Final words, parting thoughts. Logan.
I do just want to say really quick shout out to Neville High School. They've been a big rival my whole time in high school. But I appreciate that because if it wasn't for Neville, frankly, I would not have worked so hard. So I gotta give a big shout out to Neville and Jonathan Casimir especially. Has been a big part of this year. Once again, shout out to all my teammates and my family. Yeah, y'all have just been amazing and such a big part of this journey.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Joshua, final words, parting thoughts.
I'm looking forward to next year, and I hope that I or my team can get to states and continue to aim high. So if you always aim high, you can never land low. So yeah.
You know, Joshua, I'm gonna be paying attention. As I go through the results next year, I'll be paying attention. So I'll see what happens to Vernia.
I talk pretty big, so it's gonna be bad if I don't do good.
Hey, well, maybe a little pressure is not so bad. A little pressure. Every time I read the results, I'm going to say, okay, where's Vernia? Are they near the bottom or are they near the top? Bottom or top? Bottom or top? We're going to take a look just to give that little added pressure. Hey, gentlemen, I have nothing but best wishes for you. Joshua, I will be paying attention to your scores next year, and I wish you the very best. Logan, your energy is incredible. You know, I got that email where you sent me the animation for my video. You've left your mark on Texas Math Mundo. Now I insert that into all my productions. So it's a little bit of you leaving your mark on this world. I hope you all stay connected through the Discord. I hope you all stay connected to the community. I have nothing but the very best wishes for you all. I want to give you a heartfelt thank you for sharing your story, and best of luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Farewell, guys. Farewell. What great young gentlemen. I want to extend a heartfelt, sincere thank you to the Vernia High School Computer Science Team 2026. Gentlemen, I know you do great things. Best of luck. Thanks again. Let me take a quick moment to ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Let's spread this joy and beauty to as many people as possible. I have many wonderful things in store for this channel, and I truly appreciate your support. My name is Logan, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Farewell, guys. Farewell.